Taylor Swift's recent appearance on the New Heights podcast, hosted by NFL stars Travis and Jason Kelce, has been described as one of the most revealing and unprecedented interviews of her career. Known for maintaining a carefully curated public image, Swift used this platform to step beyond the boundaries of traditional press junkets and scripted interviews, engaging in a candid, two-hour conversation that offered a rare glimpse into both her personal and professional life. This was not only her first time on the Kelce brothers show, but also one of the few occasions where she addressed major milestones, such as reclaiming ownership of her master recordings, the creative journey behind her upcoming album The Life of a Showgirl, and the romantic origin story between herself and Travis Kelce. With a mix of humor, vulnerability, and reflection, the podcast format allowed Swift to speak without the time, constraints, or media filters of conventional publicity appearances, creating an environment where her words felt unguarded yet intentional. For fans and the broader public, the interview was more than a promotional stop. It was a cultural moment that intertwined music, sports, and celebrity narratives into a single conversation, leaving audiences with valuable insights into the artistry, resilience, and human side of one of the world's most influential entertainers. Taylor Swift's debut on the New Heights podcast marked a turning point in how the global superstar connects with her audience. Hosted by NFL brothers Travis and Jason Kelce, the show is known for its candid, often humorous tone, making it an unconventional yet perfect setting for Swift to share her story in a way that felt genuine and unfiltered. This wasn't a typical promotional interview, filled with rehearsed answers and guarded sound bites. Instead, Swift settled into an easy, conversational rhythm, speaking openly about topics ranging from career-defining achievements to deeply personal memories. The nearly two-hour discussion was unprecedented not only because of its length, but also because of the breadth of subjects covered. Swift reflected on her decades-long fight to regain ownership of her master recordings, a process that was as emotional as it was historic. She talked about her creative process for her upcoming album The Life of a Showgirl, revealing the vibrant energy and personal experiences that shaped it. She even delved into lighthearted yet meaningful moments, like how the podcast indirectly played a role in sparking her romance with Travis Kelce, and how she spent her downtime on hobbies such as baking and sewing. What made this appearance so significant was the rare blend of vulnerability and control. Swift was comfortable enough to share tears, laughter, and unpolished truths, yet deliberate in how she framed her journey, showing her mastery of narrative even in an unscripted environment. For fans, it was an intimate peek into the life of one of music's most influential figures, presented not through the lens of a press release, but in her own words and at her own pace. In a media landscape often dominated by quick clips and curated statements, this extended, personal conversation felt like a milestone, one that will likely set a precedent for how high-profile artists engage with audiences in the future. One of the most emotional and defining moments of Taylor Swift's New Heights podcast appearance came when she spoke about reclaiming ownership of her master recordings, a battle she has been fighting since her teenage years. For Swift, this was far more than a business transaction. It was the realization of a dream rooted in artistic freedom, creative control, and personal dignity. The journey began years ago when the rights to her early catalog were sold without her consent, sparking public disputes and inspiring her ambitious Taylor's version re-recording project. Over time, Swift turned what could have been a career setback into a movement, educating her audience about the importance of intellectual property in the music industry and empowering other artists to fight for their own rights. On the podcast, Swift described in vivid detail the day she received confirmation that her masters had been secured through a deal with Shamrock Capital, reportedly valued at around $360 million. She recalled collapsing into tears, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the victory. This was not a win achieved in isolation. She credited her family, especially her mother Andrea and brother Austin, for standing by her side throughout years of negotiations and emotional strain. Their behind-the-scenes efforts were instrumental in turning a long-shot goal into a reality. What resonated most with listeners was the raw humanity in her retelling. She admitted that even though she has sold out stadiums, won numerous awards, and broken industry records, this achievement felt like the single most important milestone of her professional life. It was, as she put it, the moment that will affect the rest of my life. In sharing this chapter so openly, Swift reminded fans that success is often the result of persistence, resilience, and an unshakable belief in one's own worth. Qualities that have not only defined her career, but also cemented her place as a trailblazer in the music business. During her groundbreaking appearance on the New Heights podcast, Taylor Swift unveiled one of the most anticipated announcements of her career, her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. Scheduled for release on October 3, 2025, the project marks a bold return to the bright, infectious pop sound that first catapulted Swift to global superstardom. Written largely during breaks on her record-shattering Eras tour and produced in full collaboration with longtime hitmakers Max Martin and Shellback, the album embodies a creative synergy that Swift described as pure, unfiltered joy. What sets The Life of a Showgirl apart is its intentionality. Unlike some of her past projects that came with multiple editions or bonus tracks, this album is a concise, tightly curated 12-track collection. Swift explained that every song earned its place, with no filler, no experimental what-if tracks, just music that directly reflects the vibrant energy of her life during the Eras tour. She likened the album's concept to peeking behind the curtain of a dazzling stage production, offering listeners a sonic diary of what it felt like to live in that whirlwind of lights, costumes, travel, and raw adrenaline. Visually, the album's branding is drenched in an energetically vibrant orange palette, symbolizing warmth, creativity, and unapologetic self-expression. The cover art and promotional visuals embrace a glamorous, showgirl-inspired aesthetic, feathered costumes, sparkling accents, and dramatic lighting, capturing both the spectacle and intimacy of performance. Swift also hinted that The Life of a Showgirl carries an emotional through line beneath its high-energy exterior. While the tracks are upbeat and festival-ready, they carry undertones of self-discovery, resilience, and gratitude, reflecting the personal growth she's experienced in recent years. For fans, this album represents more than just new music. It's a celebration of survival, reinvention, and the enduring thrill of the spotlight. With its vibrant sound and refined focus, The Life of a Showgirl is poised to become one of the defining records of her career. In discussing The Life of a Showgirl on the New Heights podcast, Taylor Swift revealed that the album is more than just a collection of songs. It's a visual and emotional experience built around a vibrant creative vision. At its core, the record captures the whirlwind energy of life on tour, blending the adrenaline of sold-out stadium performances with the quieter, more intimate moments that happen behind the curtain. Swift described it as an exploration of the duality of her life as an artist, the spectacle the audience sees and the private, often chaotic reality that fuels it. One of the most striking creative choices is the album's color identity. Draped in a bold, fiery orange palette, The Life of a Showgirl departs from the softer pastels and muted tones of some of her previous works. Orange, Swift explained, represents warmth, vitality, and unapologetic expression, mirroring the state of mind she was in while writing the album. This aesthetic flows through every element of the project, from the album cover and music videos to the limited edition vinyl pressings, creating a unified sensory world for fans to immerse themselves in. Musically, the creative energy is palpable. The songs are rhythm-driven, danceable, and unapologetically pop, with infectious hooks designed to fill arenas. Yet, beneath the sparkle and gloss, Swift has woven in her trademark lyrical storytelling, ensuring that each track still carries emotional weight and personal meaning. Thematically, the album navigates ideas of self-confidence, joy, resilience, and the beauty of reinvention, offering an uplifting but honest look at the highs and lows of life under the spotlight. By merging this energetic soundscape with a bold visual identity, Swift has crafted an album that feels both theatrical and deeply personal. The Life of a Showgirl isn't just meant to be heard. It's meant to be experienced as a living, breathing work of art, radiating the same electric energy that defined the era in which it was created. One of the most engaging aspects of Taylor Swift's New Heights podcast appearance was her willingness to dive into lighthearted, yet deeply personal territory, offering fans a glimpse of moments rarely discussed in formal interviews. In between talking about career milestones and her upcoming album, Swift shared candid stories about romance, chance encounters with royalty, and the physical demands of her touring life, painting a fuller picture of her world beyond the stage. On romance, Swift playfully credited the podcast itself for setting the stage for her relationship with Travis Kelce. She recalled with a grin how his now famous friendship bracelet gesture during her tour stop felt like something out of an 80s romantic comedy. Unexpected, bold, and irresistibly charming. This lighthearted recollection added a touch of real-world magic to a love story fans had been following closely. Her anecdotes about meeting the British royal family provided another peek into her life's more surreal chapters. Backstage at the Eras tour, she was introduced to members of the royal family in a setting that was far more relaxed than one might expect. Jason Kelce humorously admitted his nerves about proper etiquette, only for Swift to assure him that the encounter was warm, genuine, and refreshingly human. Perhaps the most relatable of these moments came when Swift discussed the toll that performing multi-hour shows in heels takes on her body. She compared her post-show recovery routine to the rehabilitation regimens NFL players endure after games, highlighting the discipline and resilience required to keep performing at such an intense level. From cold therapy to rest days, Swift's candor underscored the often overlooked physical side of being a touring artist. Adding a playful twist, she revealed her newfound hobbies, particularly baking, sewing, and perfecting her funfetti sourdough bread, a favorite among Jason Kelce's kids. These small, domestic joys provided a warm counterbalance to the high-octane glamour of her public life. In sharing these genuine, unfiltered moments, Swift reminded listeners that even in the midst of global fame, there's room for humor, vulnerability, and the simple pleasures that keep life grounded. And there you have it, 5 unforgettable takeaways from Taylor Swift's unprecedented New Heights podcast appearance. From reclaiming her masters in a history-making victory, to unveiling the life of a showgirl with its vibrant orange energy, to opening up about love, laughter, and even royal encounters. This was Taylor at her most real and relatable. If this interview proved anything, it's that behind the stadium lights, chart-topping hits, and record-breaking tours, Taylor Swift is still a storyteller at heart, willing to share her triumphs, struggles, and everyday joys with the people who've been there since day one. So, Swifties, what was your favorite moment from the podcast? Was it the romantic bracelet story, the royal meet and greet, or her emotional victory over her masters? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss more deep dives into the biggest moments in music, pop culture, and beyond.